Hello, this is Paula. Welcome to my crafty channel. Today we are going to be doing a bit of a birthday themed layout. So I've gone back into my oldest daughter's sort of album and realised I never actually scrapbooked her 4th birthday. So I've got a few of the pictures, photos printed out here. You can see there's a lot of bright outdoor fun. She has a summer birthday. There she is in the morning of her birthday, looking pretty excited about the day to come. So I figured I might just have a little play with our new range that's out and close to my heart in the latest January to February catalogue, and it's called Let's Party. So it is a really bright set. It's got lots of good grounding primary colours. So we've got our candy apple, we've got our bluebird, we've got the lighter ballerina in there, jade, Sundance, and then white, crisp white comes through as well. So this is a really fun set. It's got a great sticker sheet for birthdays. It's also got the acrylic shapes, which are lots of little thin plasticky shapes that are going to work to add a little bit of dimension to the page. And there are some fun stamp sets as well. So in here you can see we've got the stamp set that's got the numbers, which are actually a fabulous size. If you see here, we have got the number 4. It is 2 inches high at least, which each of those, they're really good chunky size. And then it's got some really classic shapes that you can use over and over as well. So party hats, balloons, and a present. So we've got this fun stamp set with the stamp as well. I don't have the card making one at the moment, but I do love that little tassel that goes on. You could do some really neat banner with that as well. So let's have a little play, see how we go with these photos and what we can create. To get started, I'm going to take some inspiration from this fabulous layout here. I do think they've done a fabulous job here. They've used the stamp set well. They've used a variety of that really patterned paper, but in a more subtle way by having all this white space all the way around. And you don't have to keep it pink. I could definitely bring in more of a classic colour like the reds or the greens if I don't want to make it too girly. I also think I'm going to have quite a few photos, so I've flipped through our Make It From Your Heart Volume 6, and I think the pattern 19 with this idea of a lot of repetitive stripes along the page could work really well for the other side. I may have to change it up a bit because I do want more white space around because they are very busy papers. So I'm just going to use that as an idea and maybe do something like this with my photos, whether I can crop some of them to 3x3s just like they have done here, just to make that really cool grid effect. So I've started by cutting down my white daisy, 1.5 inches off 2 sides. So that's giving me a really nice strong border around the outside. I'm yet to decide what colour that's going to be. This is now laid out also. Looking at that pattern 19, I took inspiration from the design of the photos here. And I've cut my photos down to match. I didn't have another 3x4, so I've kind of rearranged and thought this could be a little journaling spot or subtitle or an embellishment spot. So we'll see what we do with that. I could even bring it up this way and do something a bit bigger down below. So I've got a few options there. Now we need to bring in some patterned paper. So the instructions from the pattern book is to go around sort of roughly 10 inches long. However, from the idea book that we got in the catalogue, it's obviously a lot smaller because we have pulled in this white background space. So I'm going to bring it about 8 inches, and I'm going to do a solid yay piece of paper first to keep that really solidness, and then I might do some stripy pages afterwards on this side. Then the other side I will go stripy. So that way I'm sort of incorporating 2 different sketches. So here's our yay paper. It's really fun and bright. The other side is slightly softer, but it's got a lot of fun partiness going on. I could use either side really, but I'm going to try the same as the sketch that we're following from the catalogue. And I'm going to do a cut of 8 inches. And I think we might go around 4 inches wide with this one, just to have a nice solid block behind this main photo. So the main photo is going to be here. We're probably going to bring this down roughly about here. We may have to stretch it a little bit and have a slightly shorter white border because I still really love the checkered pattern they've got going along the bottom here. I think that's a really fun detail which we're going to have a little go at doing as well. Okay, so we've got the yay. We also need to grab in some zip strips just to finish it off down the bottom. So I thought this was quite a fun one. It's the pink with the little banner on it and a twirly little white sort of lights, I guess it is, twinkly lights. So we're going to pull that one in along the bottom, and I'll probably need both of these zip strips for the 2 pages. So that's going to come along the base of that one. And we've got one more here to come along the base of this other one. And then we just need to cut, I'll trim that down to the right size soon, but then we just need to cut a few different strips along the way to go behind these photos and behind this main block. So we have got the EAA on that side. I may bring a little bit of that in on the other side. But I'm also going to pull in some of the sprinkles. So I really love the sprinkle page. It's such a good classic for birthdays, and particularly young girl birthdays. So I'm going to do an 8-inch cut as well with this one. And I'm going to start off with 1.5-inch wide strips as the suggested amount. So I'll do a couple of those. And I'm going to have one sitting over under here on this side, probably on that side of it. And we're going to have at least one sitting over here behind these photos. So that's a starting point. I think I'll do another one for that side, and then I'm just going to play around with some of the other papers and see what I cut out. So here is the base layout all completed. We've got our stamping along the base, we've got all this adhered. I did keep a little tiny gap between those just to stretch them out a little bit more. And now once we put our photos on, we are starting to see how that background works just beautifully to keep the colours of the photos and all the excitement of the photos showing, but without being too overpowering, because when you've got a pattern set like this, you've got to be a little careful it doesn't overpower. So we'll pop these photos back on roughly where they are sitting, and then we can get to the fun part of doing a bit of decorating. So what I have got here is I have cut out some of those numbers. So this was her 4th birthday, and so she's been through 1, 2 and 3. So those may have something to do with it there, and I noticed that they used circles for the two little placeholders for the numbers. So this really helps to ground them. So we'll pop that little one there too. We have also got some other things that I pre-stamped. So I stamped up, excuse the noise, I stamped up the word birthday. So if we're going to have birthday somewhere in here, maybe popping out of there. We're also going to have 4 years. So we're going to pop this under here for years. And a little party hat, maybe a little balloon as well, which is kind of cute. And what else are we going to have on here? We have got a banner that says happy. So with this banner, when you stamp it, there isn't a die cut, so you're going to have to cut that out. I stamped it twice to get the best image. So we might pop a little happy up here or a happy here for happy birthday. And then on this side, we might want to bring over some of those other little elements again. So maybe we can put in a couple of balloons up here. And another little party hat popped in. I've also got the sticker sheet to play with. So let's have a little look at the sticker sheet. We have got in the sticker sheet so many fun options. We can bring in some of these little stars if we just want a little statement. In the centre bit, we could put one of these bigger statements as well. Here's to you, or happy birthday to you, and many more. Might even be able to be put in here through as a banner. It's my birthday. That's kind of cute. So many fun things in here actually that we could draw on. So I'm just going to have a little play with these. There's a little banner as well. See what we can come up with to finish it all off. So let's work on the left hand side. I do really like these little circles, but they're just a bit bright white. So just by doing a little bit of blending around the outside with the soft ballerina, it just helps to make them all blend in to the papers a lot better. Now I'm also dovetailing this just to add a little bit of interest, and I'm keeping it quite wide because it does make that make that sentiment work quite well, and I am going to put the happy above it as well, just in that area. So what I'm now doing is grabbing from the stamp set this little cluster of candles. I'm going to ink it up and I'm masking off the bottom so that all I get is that strip of candles through on my little piece. And that's just a tiny detail, but by layering up my 4 years on top, it just adds a little bit of interest. Now the balloon was looking a little bit lost in this light shade, so just again bringing out that journaling pen, I can bring a bit of accent to it, and the same with the circles. So I end up doing this to both circles, going around the outside edge, adding a little bit of stitching just for a bit of interest. You'll see in the sketch in the catalogue they have done this also. Now the number 2, again being a light colour, wasn't standing out, so pulling in your little doodling little dashes on the numbers does help to make them stand out just that little bit more. All these tiny touches just help a little. Now moving on to the right hand side, I thought I'd bring back that dovetailed banner effect. So again, blending the edges with the light coloured ballerina ink. And now trying to decide what I'm going to put on that banner. Now there are some really cute little sentiments on the sticker sheet, so I thought I'd make use of those. And I was going to use that fun confetti one, but there were a couple of little word strips that just pulled in a bit more colour, which I really enjoyed too. So I'm going to layer those up with my balloons just to make a little soft statement in the centre of those photos. You'll see the party hat's been moved to the left a little bit more. And to finish off the accent, I'm going around the edge of both sides with my journaling pen to add a little bit of fun stitching. So here's the end result. They are really, really fun pages, lovely and bright, so suit her birthday and her personality. So enjoyed putting these together using the volume 6 book and the gorgeous catalogue as my inspiration. Thanks for watching.